much for joining us. This is the news in Africa and the world. We open today's edition in Nigeria, where security forces have arrested at least 62 people in Abuja and fired tear gas at protesters in Lagos as a series of anti-government protests were held in urban centers across the country on Wednesday. Police said the protesters were arrested for breaching COVID-19 rules on social distancing. The protesters were later released. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana confirmed their release. The protests were held to mark a year since the first demonstrations by the Revolution Now movement, which calls for better governance and denounces the legitimacy of last year's election. A heightened security presence is to be expected in the urban centers, and further clashes cannot be ruled out in the coming days. Moving to the southern African country, Zimbabwe, the U.S. has imposed sanctions on the close business ally of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who was until this year the partner of global commodity trader Trafigura in the country. Kuda Washe Tagweri and his Secunda Group were blacklisted by the U.S. Treasury, which said that the businessman used opaque business dealings and his ongoing relationship with the president to improperly amass wealth in the shortage-plagued country. The department tied the sanctions to the second anniversary of a violent crackdown against protesters in Zimbabwe that left at least 6 people dead. The sanctions will prevent Americans from dealing with Secunda. The UN's cultural organization UNESCO has pledged to help restore the World Heritage Site of Bandiagara, partly destroyed by conflict raging in central Mali. The work will focus on sites devoted to traditional culture as well as restoring ceremonial objects in a memorial collection, the body said in a statement. It will be able to launch the 3-year project thanks to $1 million in funding from the International Alliance for the Protection of Heritage in Conflict Areas. UNESCO added the project will also work on restoring paid work for women, which was central to promoting reconciliation between communities. The Malian security crisis, fueled by jihadist groups and inter-community tensions, has led to the destruction of nearly 30 villages classified as a World Heritage Site in the Mopti region. Out of Africa, French President Emmanuel Macron traveled to Lebanon this Thursday to offer support for the troubled country after a massive deadly explosion that has drawn global pledges of medical and humanitarian aid. He was welcomed by his counterpart Michel Aoun, whom he called late Tuesday. The French Prime Minister Jean Castex held a meeting earlier on Wednesday to organize France's aid for Lebanon in the wake of the twin explosions at the port of Beirut. Several other countries across the Middle East and Europe are also sending aid. The European Union is activating its civil protection system to round up emergency workers and equipment from across the 27-nation bloc. The Czech Republic, Germany, Greece, Poland, and the Netherlands are taking part in the effort, and other countries are expected to join. China's President Xi Jinping has also this Thursday sent condolences to his Lebanese counterpart. Lebanon's government has announced a 2-week state of emergency. Beirut governor said 300,000 people have been left homeless and damage is estimated at up to $5 billion. The counting of votes is underway in Sri Lanka after Wednesday's parliamentary election, which President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's party is widely expected to win, cementing his grip on power. Close to 70% eligible Sri Lankans voted on the election to the 225-member parliament, dismissing no fears of coronavirus. The Election Commission said the results were expected late this afternoon, with the final tally coming in around midnight. Turnout was down, but polling wrapped up without any major incident of violence that have plagued previous elections. The tourism-independent island nation of 21 million people has been struggling since deadly attacks on hotels and churches last year, followed by lockdown to slow the spread of COVID-19. And the U.S. government has announced a new $1 billion investment in a COVID-19 vaccine being developed by Johnson & Johnson, guaranteeing 100 million doses. G&G, through its subsidiary Janssen, had already received $456 million in March. The new money will allow the company to ramp up production so that doses are ready for shipping if and when the drug receives regulatory approval. With the latest deal, President Trump's administration has spent $9.4 billion on vaccine agreement, with 5 companies agreeing to provide at least 700 million doses. That's it. Thank you very much for choosing the news. Don't go away. Programs continue until we come your way. Do take care and stay safe.